Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. And here we will be discussing the doubtful doings and dubious duplicity over the deranged doctoring of the doomed documentary on the Don's demonisation by the demented Davy and the demonic directors of the BBC. And why the SNP are backing them, despite the loathing they have for the Beeb. It all seems very weird, does it not? Well, the SNP have basically stood up and are trying to defend the BBC. This is weird considering they absolutely loathe the BBC. They say the BBC is unpatriotic to Scotland. It is London-centric. It does not fulfil the need for which Scotland has. In fact, they've spent years slagging off the BBC. So why the support now? Well, one can presume only that they hate Donald Trump more, and if they're going to pick a side, they'd rather pick the BBC than Trump. I'm sure the BBC will be ever so glad to have the SNP on board. And then once it's all dealt with, the SNP can go back to slagging off the BBC. But it is very, very weird, isn't it? What is wrong with the SNP? Why do they hate the BBC so much? There's not a long history. Sorry, there's a long history of it, of course. It goes back. Whereas they have only hated Trump since 2016. It's an odd mix, isn't it? But of course, the Nats want to do everything they can to break up the union, and so I think if they can foment problems between Trump and Britain, that of course is their main goal. Yeah, they're a funny lot, aren't they? All of a sudden, the BBC are their friends. For now. Personally, I wouldn't trust an SNP as far as I could spit a rat. Let me know what you think. Thanks a lot. Bye.